radiallahu ta'ala anhu. Also from the individuals, from the outsiders of Mecca who became Muslim during the time of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, Mecca, the famous companion Abu Dhar. Abu Dhar al-Ghifari. Abu Dhar was from a tribe called Ghafar. Ghafar is on the way to Syria, where the people of Quraysh, whenever they used to travel to Syria for their business and for their trading, they used to go past Al-Ghifar. And therefore, they used to have that fear from the people of Ghafar, because the people of Ghafar were like more of nomads. You mess around with them, you get them angry, they'll hit back to you when you travel. So they're like more of high robbers. Abu Dhar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, he heard of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And he narrates his story, that his story is narrated in Al-Bukhari. He says that I heard the news going around and the word going around that there is a man who claims to be a prophet and a messenger and receives words from God. So Abu Dhar said, when I heard about this news, and obviously they felt this emptiness in them, and they wanted to know, and this is the wisdom of a human being. Whenever you hear something, you don't make a judgment over it until you really investigate. And Abu Dhar wanted to investigate, what's this thing about this man who claims to be a prophet? So he said, I had a brother, so I sent my brother. So I sent my brother to Mecca to get me more news, first-hand news on Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So his brother went and he came back. And Abu Dhar asked him, how did you find this man who claims to be a messenger? He said, by Allah, I've never seen someone who calls for the good the way he does, and someone who forbids from the bad the way he does. Abu Dhar said, that's not enough for me. He calls for the good, forbids from the bad. Everyone does that. So Abu Dhar decided himself to go down to Mecca and meet the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. But he knew of the situation that the people of Mecca and Quraysh against the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam. So he can't just come in the open looking for the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, want to embrace Islam. That was not possible at that time. So when he arrived to Mecca, he arrived as a stranger and kept to himself. He didn't want anyone to see him or speak to him, so they know what cause or reason he came for. And he was looking for the Prophet ﷺ. He was trying to suss around and look around. Who is talking about Muhammad? Who is Muhammad? Trying to get information from the outside. Who saw him and met him? Ali ibn Abi Talib radiallahu ta'ala anhu. So Ali ibn Abi Talib looked at him and said, it looks like you're a stranger. So he said, yes. And one of the qualities of the Arab back then, they loved this thing called having a guest over. Having a guest over. These days we have these same qualities in the opposite. When we know there's a guest coming, tell the son, tell the guest that I'm not at home. You know, the son comes out and you knock on the door and the son comes out, is your father here? My father just told me to tell you that he's not here. You know, you get that so many times. You know, back then, they used to fight over the guest. War will take place. Who is going to host the guest? That's one of the qualities of the Arab. Hosting the guest was something noble, something great. But, you know, we live in a society where, honestly, it's a very selfish society, a very selfish time and era, that no one can even be bothered for the parents and kids. Little to be bothered for the guest. But back then, as I mentioned, the Arab will fight and war will break out. Who's going to host? The guest. So Ali ibn Abi Talib saw Abu Dhar and he said, the man looks like a stranger. So Abu Dhar said, yes. So Ali said, do you have a place to live in or to stay at? So he said, no. He said, come to my place. And one of the qualities of the Arab, not only the host, the guest and a stranger, is not to ask what they came for only after 3 days. Don't ask what you're here for because you embarrassed them. So they'll ask them after 3 days. These days, before they walk in, what are you here for? You know, give me, with your authorization, give me your resume before you come into my house. That's Allah Azza wa Jalla aful afiyah. But the Arab had this quality in them that they love to host a guest, and if he's a stranger, they would not ask anything about him only after 3 days. So Ali ibn Abi Talib took Abu Dhar, and Abu Dhar is scared from Ali. Maybe this person is an enemy of Muhammad. He doesn't know who's Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu. So he stayed at Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu's house the first day, and some narration says for 3 days. And then after that, like after 3 days, and some narration says the next day, Ali ibn Abi Talib looked at him and said, like, tell me why you're here for. What's the reason that you're here for? So Abu Dhar said, if I tell you why, would you promise me? Would you promise me that you will not mention anything to anyone? Because he doesn't want the news to come out that he's here for the Prophet ﷺ, or else everyone will turn against him. Maybe he'll get killed. You know, it's very dangerous. It's very sensitive to say that you want to follow the Prophet ﷺ. So Ali ibn Abi Talib said, I promise you that I will not mention anything to anyone. So he said, I came here to Ali ibn Abi Talib. I came here looking for Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam because I heard he claims to be a prophet. I want to hear from him. So Ali said, you came to the right person. Is there anyone better than me? I'm the follower of Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And that was a good news for Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu. But he told him, in here, it's very dangerous and it's very sensitive if you say you are heat for Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And then he told him, when we go near the Kaaba, I will point to you where Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam is. But at the same time, if there is someone that I want you to be aware from, what I'll do is I'll stand next to the wall and start fixing my shoes. If you see me doing that, know that I'm warning you of someone around that's willing to cause trouble, or is someone from the leaders of Quraysh that will do something. So they went. And then Abu Dhar saw the Prophet ﷺ through the direction of Ali radiallahu ta'ala anhu. And then Abu Dhar sat down with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. The Prophet alayhi salatu told him, where are you from? He said, I'm from Ghafar. So the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam offered Islam to him and recited the Quran al-Kareem. And anyone with a sincere heart, wallahi, anyone with a sincere heart that wants the pleasure and the guidance of Allah, Allah will guide them. This is something I always believe in. If you really want Allah to guide you, Allah will guide you. But be sincere. So Abu Dhar radiallahu ta'ala anhu, with his sincerity and open mind and heart, sat down in front of the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, heard from the Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam, heard the words of Allah Azza wa Jal, and these people know Arabic and they know these words are not the words of a human being. Abu Dhar had nothing else except to say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammadan abduhu rasulullah. So the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam told him, Oh Abu Dhar, keep this matter closed. Don't mention it to too many people. And go back to your country, go back to your town, and don't mention this to anyone, and go back to your town. Call them to Allah Azza wa Jal. And when you hear that Allah Azza wa Jal had opened up for us, when you hear the victory of Allah for us, when you hear that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala had given us victory, you come down. Abu Dhar said, no. This I'm not going to do. Wallahi, I'm going to stand in front of all of them right now and say, Ashhadu an la ilaha illallah wa anna Muhammadan abduhu wa rasuluh. And let me see what they're going to do. So Abu Dhar went in front of everyone. Oh people of Quraysh, here I am, I bear witness that there is no God except Allah and Muhammad his messenger. So the people of Quraysh said, this man is an upstater, this man had left his religion. So everyone gathered to bash him. Everyone jumped on him to hit him. So Al-Abbas came and he looked at him. He said, this man is from Ghafar. And he said, oh people of Quraysh, do you know the man that you're hitting? Do you know this man that you are bashing? He is from the tribe of Ghafar, and you know Ghafar. This is the tribe that you go past every time that you travel to Syria. By Allah, if you hurt him, they will never ever let you go in peace when you go past the tribe. So everyone pulled away. You know, there's business here. There's business. This is the people of Ghafar. The people of Ghafar, not just anyone, the high operators. If the people of Ghafar know that the people of Mecca did this to one of their members, the people of Mecca will never travel to Syria. And their business from Syria will cut. So Al-Abbas said, do you know you're hitting? Do you know you're bashing? This man is from Ghafar, and your business interest is through Ghafar. So they all pulled away from him. And the next day, Abu Dhar, and this is, typical Arab. The next day, Abu Dhar came again in front of everyone, waited, not in the morning, because in the morning, there'll be half people, waited when everyone was there. While everyone there said, oh people of Quraysh, I bear witness that there is no God except Allah and Muhammad his messenger. And again, the people, everyone just kept on jumping. This is something that they had. If someone becomes a Muslim, straight away, bash him, hit him, humiliate him, try and do whatever he could do. So it was in their nature, straight away, everyone just jumped on Abu Dhar and started to bash him and hit him. And Abbas came again and said, oh people, do you know, you're hitting, this man is from Ghafar. By Allah, your business interests through the people of Ghafar. You hit him, you can't travel to Syria anymore. So they pulled away from him, and Abu Dhar radiallahu ta'ala anhu went back to Ghafar. And then radiallahu ta'ala anhu caught up with the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam in Medina and became a close companion of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam. The Abu Dhar, he had a different, I don't want to say an odd personality, but a different personality than the rest of the companions. That the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam said, Abu Dhar is a full nation by himself. Abu Dhar is ummah, a nation by himself. Like, he's a man, he's a full nation by himself. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala be pleased from him. Also,